Bill Simmons learned quickly that he should not engage in a Twitter feud with Cris Collinsworth, even though that tweet from Collinsworth, which was gold, by the way, which we'll throw to in a minute, he eventually took it down. What a weenie. Like, just leave it up there. But TV people, as we know, are not exactly the thickest skinned and therefore would be told to do something and follow suit. But we've brought in our Twitter correspondent all the way from New York to discuss this matter with us, Jason Rubin. So, Jason, how is it hanging out in New York?
It's raining.
Nice.
There's a lot of BS going on to my right, which you can't really see. I'm in a phone booth. I've been saying this on the other clip I did yesterday. They have we're in a WeWork space, and it's really cool. It's really collaborative, and they have these different soundproof little rooms, so people won't have to be annoyed at me screaming in front of everybody about sports. But I'm doing good. UFC 205 was really fun.
Yeah, it looks like you're in a coffin with a window.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm burying myself alive.
It looks
and
like
my black shirt only makes it better. I'm in the Undertaker's house.
That actually does fit. But all right, so we're going to get to this first. So the thing that I want to throw to first is Bill Simmons' tweet, right? So this is what happened. Here we have Bill Simmons said, somebody needs to gently break the news to Collinsworth that the Pats have a weak front seven, and that's why Seattle's O-line looks good. And Cris Collinsworth responded, thanks, Bill. We'll look for you gently breaking it down on that hit show of yours. Oh,
shot fired! Do shit!
My God, he took him out. That's the only way to respond. But as I will get to, Jason, before I throw to your response, he deleted the tweet. Just leave it up there. Is everyone that sensitive? Is executives in the TV industry going to be like, Chris, you got to take that down. That was a low blow on a guy who's made his career out of making bold statements and having a shit ton of knowledge on most sports, but most of which basketball. But would Bill Simmons delete that tweet after he sent it out? I don't think so.
No, here's the thing. There's no point in deleting tweets anymore.
Yeah.
Because if you delete someone's going to screen grab it like they did. They saw this and they went, first of all, I'm pretty sure someone's out there screen grabbing every tweet even we have ever sent. Just so one day in 25 years they can be like, remember when Francis_Maxwell said this? And that's the point. So deleting it doesn't really save you any face for this. But, I mean, first of all, Cris Collinsworth, a savage, who knew this whole time? He's really cheery in the booth. He's always giving you a little stat or fact with each point that Al Michaels makes. Seems like a good – and all of a sudden comes out of nowhere with this. And as a big Bill Simmons fan myself, Collinsworth, I mean, rightfully said what he had to say. We all think we can do Cris Collinsworth's job. We all think we can do Al Michaels' job. We all think we could be like a national broadcaster for 3 hours on a live stream commentating on live events. It's what part of the Deadspin article was saying. So lo and behold, millions of people think we can do his job. We probably can't. I would say most of us can't, or at least do it as well. So this little moment from Sunday Night Football actually got overshadowed because the game was so good.
Yeah.
If the game was terrible, this would have been the #1 NFL story on Monday morning by far.
No doubt. And I feel like Collinsworth is just that guy in the party that has the really witty comment to say, but in the corner and just kind of says it to himself. And then someone might hear it and be like, did you hear that? That was an unbelievable... He absolutely described it in one small moment or one small tweet. But again, Bill Simmons, I'm a huge fan of Bill Simmons. You have talked about this before. The show, it doesn't surprise me that it's been cancelled because I don't think he's the right personality for that style of show. That style of show has worked for years. It works so much in the UK. James Corden, that's part of what his career took a massive spike up the way when he had a show called A League of Their Own, where they had sports personalities, celebrities come in and talk. But I just think that Bill Simmons was too, and don't take this in any racial way, too vanilla for that, because he was just too much mellow for this sort of conversation. He had to give it a spike. He would have to give... maybe gamify it in a way so that they were going back and forth, some sort of quiz. Maybe they put his knowledge to the test, something there. If I was a producer on it, I would have had some fun with a guy like that, but you have to make it so that the show itself can raise the stakes so that he just isn't in there to try and raise the stakes himself because he's a little too mellow of a personality. But if you're going to throw shots, man, you're going to play with the bull, and who would have known that bull would have some horns and come back with them?
I mean, I agree with you 100% on Bill Simmons. And again, we've both said it. We're fans of his work. I think he's a terrific writer. I think he's a great podcaster. But not everybody's made out to have an HBO show. Joe Buck did it for 3 days. It was terrible, and they canceled it. Now, a lot of people think that this means that Bill Simmons got fired from HBO. No, this guy also created 30 for 30 for ESPN. He's a co-creator of the idea of 30 for 30. Yeah. So he's going to stay on with HBO and produce and probably direct and write, and it'll probably be a great asset to HBO's future sports programming. But in that one moment, Cris Collinsworth got the better of him, and this is somebody who we're talking usually gets the better of most people on Twitter with either calling out Roger Goodell or whatever it be NFL related. So I thought, again, it was a fun moment. I love overanalyzing these kind of things because, again, if he didn't delete it and the game wasn't amazing, it would be a much bigger story.
Yeah, it's annoying that he had to delete the tweet considering the fact that Bill Simmons has spent the majority of his career kind of ripping apart TV dummies for just being the talking heads and not really saying what they think. And then someone does say what they think and it has to take that tweet down, which I'm guessing was probably a decision from higher up, saying, you can't have an opinion here. Don't you share a smug remark because it's going to come back and haunt you one day. All right, well, Jason, we will be on more clips, so I will not send you back out into the rain as I was going to take you out on that clip. But stay tuned. We've got plenty more to discuss. Jason Rubin live from NYC. And Francis here from it's cooled down a little bit here in LA. It was ridiculous yesterday coming back from New York in a nice crisp 60 degrees to waltz into a 90-degree day in November.
Global warming isn't real.
Yeah, climate change. If you shut your window when you put on hairspray, it's fine. It doesn't go away.